I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop. I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. You know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. You can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car. We're gonna get real. Oh, I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. I'm feeling nice, my little lady. She's gonna keep me moving on. I'm gonna run till I drop to the break of dawn. Never gonna stop, she's gonna treat me right. I'm feeling good, my little lady. She's gonna take me to the other side. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Come on, baby. Let's take a ride. I don't know where we're gonna go, but first, let's dance. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and you can get me high, high, high. You know I used to smoke too much. And you know I used to drink too much. Take a ride in my car, and we're gonna get real. Oh,
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at astroworldweb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optolong filter kit, Charles Bracken signed books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to astroworldweb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Deborah, things are becoming intense. I ripped my jeans on your fence, hiding away from your man. Oh, it's a passion. Oh, tell a tale of 1,000 lonely days. Yeah, she's a real thing. Yeah, only I can make a change if you getting caught in the rain, standing here calling your name. Guess I got no one to blame. Yeah, it's a small town. Yeah, all the people turn and stare. Oh, it's a secret. Hey, let them see me. I don't care if you want to be together. It's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together. If you want to be together, it's so good to be together with you. If you want to be together, say if you want to be together. I'm feeling a little kisses, but it feels so bad. Yeah, so good to be together. We did it before, and we can do it again. I'm tearing out my hair, 'cause I don't know when so good. You want to be together. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so good to be together. Yeah, so damn good. You want to be together. It's so good, it's so good, yeah. What the hell's wrong with my telescope now? Damn, what's wrong with this thing?
You're the lost Lone Ranger. Can I break this spell? Do one thing right, do I make two things wrong? If I want to satisfy the line, do I will always take the fall? If I just do left, I can live from the right. I sleep all day long, and then I'm dreaming through the night.
I wonder what it was that made me want you. She couldn't understand what made me hard.
She's climbing in and out my open window. I'm laying here alone and cold and drained. Yeah. So take another breath and come up for your oxygen. And now you wanna kiss the flesh and blood of every man, every man. And when the moon is full and the wolves will hell, she swam across the lake just to get to my hair.
on a world that's dark and tangled. I never saw her turn her head in shame. She's standing out the open window. I'm lying here alone, cold and gray. So take another breath and come up for your oxygen. Hey, you know you wanna kiss the flesh and blood of every man. Well, we all took turns and you swallow the world. I never realized till you sat with us, man. And she said, I want more. Give me more disgusting stuff. A little bit of disgusting stuff. Disgusting stuff. Oh, you're making me stop. Disgusting stuff. A little bit of disgusting stuff. Give me more disgusting stuff. Yeah, a little bit of disgusting stuff. I want more.
Hi everyone, Dan here, and I just wanted to put a little snippet about AstroWorld and what we do because I want to start getting the word out because I think it's becoming more and more of a giant community, and I want to get the word out to some other people. So what we do at AstroWorld is we hold astrophotography chats on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we just talk astrophotography. Wednesday's more of a techie kind of advanced intermediate, and Fridays is more of a newbie kind of thing. So if you want to check us out, and if you want to, hang out with some semi-decent people that like to go off the rails a little bit and have fun while they're doing it, come check us out at AstroWorldWeb.com, and you can check out the schedule, and you can sign up for all the free giveaways that we do. We just gave away an Eagle 4 Pro, an Optilong filter kit, Charles Brackenstein's books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So come to AstroWorldWeb.com, hang out with us, have a good time, and as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. How's it going, everybody? We made it. We're on time. At least everybody's on time except for Eric. So, as usual, Eric is closing the barn door after the horses come home. So, we're here tonight with Ivo Stoynov from APT, with Pete as well. Tonight's going to be really interesting about Ivo's program. Ivo, we haven't seen you 1 year. It's been, when you put out 2.0 was the last time we saw you.
Yeah, that was a year ago. And
yeah, it's last March. Ago. Yeah. I check out when I make the little thumbnail for everybody. I always put if it's their first visit, second visit, third visit. So this is your second visit to AstroWorld. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We do have to talk about the sponsors that we have in the show first. And a lot of the member sponsors have changed, believe it or not. So it's we got to say thank you to everybody. So let's do that really quick. And sponsors and quick play. Here we go. All right. So the sponsors we have, for those of you that are new to the show, welcome to the show. Thank you for hanging out with us. And you're in for a treat tonight with Ivo, creator of APT, coming to show us what new things and some things, how to get around some stuff with APT and how to get around some of the functions of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So here we go. So our first sponsor, thank you to Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes. We're actually giving away a free $50 gift certificate tonight to Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes. And thank you to Farah and the team over at Woodland Hills. Red Giant sponsors, Prima Luce, Camera Concepts, and Optalong. Just waiting for some more goodies. I heard we may even be getting an L Ultimate to give away. So more news on that very soon. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks. It'd be really, really cool to give out some stuff. Maybe even at NEAF. Can be a lot of fun. And our Super Giant level. Every Friday night, we give away a free Masters of Pix Insight workshop to some lucky winner. And they have been a huge sponsor to us, giving us 50 classes of Masters of Pix Insight, 12 IP for AP yearly subscriptions. So thank you to all them and their support. Pete, Warren, and Ron, thank you so much. So we got our member sponsors who are just completely crazy supportive. So thank you so much. We actually added, it started off with 3 levels. Now it's 6 levels of membership. So our highest level of membership right now is the Off the Rails members, Sean and Bob. Thank you so much for your support. Followed by our Quasar members, John, Dr. Ascari, and Chris. Black Hole members, Dave Schaefer, thank you so much for upgrading your membership and upgrading to the Black Hole members. I really got to figure out what I'm going to be giving to Black Hole members. I know that Patreon gives them stuff, but I kind of want to do something for the rest of the members because we got shirts and stuff. Deborah and Bob are our only 2 remaining Red Giant members, so I think we're going to cut that one sooner than later because we got a ton of Main Sequence members, White Dwarf members, and Protostar members. If you want to become a member and get the Patreon perks and get some online only Patreon stuff, join us on Patreon at AstroWorld TV on Patreon. We have 6 different levels of membership. Go check it out. So tonight, like we said, we have Ivo Stoynov here again for a second visit to AstroWorld, the creator of Astrophotography Tool. Going to be a lot of fun. March 25th, I locked down AstroStace. Stacy Downton's going to be finally, after 2 years of negotiations and conversations and whiskey drinking, we finally got her locked down to March 25th. It's going to be a Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m., March 25th. Come check out our Stacy's first visit to the channel. So thank you. April 5th, another first, we have Warren Keller finally coming, the last of the Masters of Pix Insight. They've all been on the show, but This is going to be his first solo show, so looking forward to see what Warren has to say. Maybe he'll even play the sax for us. Who knows? On April 21st, and got to say thank you for Pete for getting Pavel Kagas from Moravian Instruments coming on April 21st. Going to be really cool to see what kind of cameras and what he's got going on, because these cameras are incredible. Huge sensors, and it's amazing the detail that goes into these cameras. And of course, thank you for the support. And if you want to support us even more, feel free to join us on our other platforms: Discord, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, the whole thing. We're on everything. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. And with that being said, we're going to go back to the live, and we are here with Ivo. Ivo, again, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. It's great to have you, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. So why don't, for those, I know you got some APT users already saying, I use APT. For those that don't use APT and don't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody in the channel? Say, where you're from, what you do, all about APT and all that kind of stuff. Why don't we start there?
Thank you. I'm from Bulgaria, and APT is a long-time project for automating and making easier to do astro imaging. The main goal is to cover all the aspects of the astrophotography, from planning to running and organizing the data, making it easier later to process it. So we have time unlimited demo version. So everyone who wants to give a try can download the demo version and use it as long as they want. The limitations of the demo version are quite few. There's just a handful of options which are not available in the demo. So everything related to control of the hardware is available, and the majority of the functions are there. So we encourage everyone to give a try.
And let's go. Yeah. So, I mean, APT is a super powerful, an incredible tool for acquisition, and it's getting more and more intuitive. So why don't you talk about what you implemented in 2.0 and how you made it better this year, because it has been a year since we've been together. And I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, 2.0 was the implementation of the main autofocus routine that you had. So why don't you talk a little bit about that? I know you want to talk a little bit about some of the new updates as well.
Yeah. The idea of the whole project is to give easy way to start astrophotography without knowing much about the process, and after that to be in help during the learning curve. And when you upgrade your setup, APT still to be able to be in help. So I have prepared a presentation about today.
There you go.
So here is a short summary of what we will cover today. I will talk about some news about the APT since my last appearance in the AstroWorld TV. The second main point will be how to make automatic focusing work and get most of it. It will cover not only the APT features and functions, but the generic idea about automatic focusing. Also, we'll explain how to generate mosaics and how to use them in APT. During the whole time, you are welcome. Everyone is welcome to ask questions, and I will give my best to answer.
Yeah, and let me just see if this works for me. And let's see. Just tell me if you could see. I'm just going to throw a comment up there to make sure if you could see it. Can you see that?
Not in the moment, maybe because I'm sharing the screen.
Okay. All right, then I'll, okay. All right. That's pretty odd. It's possible. Let me see if I do it this way real quick. And I'll put it across here. How about that? Nothing?
Still not seeing.
Maybe because you're sharing. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So last year I have made a kind of overview about the APT functions, and I don't want to overlap and repeat things. So we'll start what we have added in the last year. The majority of the functions, the main important functions, not all things. So one of the most important things that I want to show is that we have added a new tab called Summary tab. The idea of this tab is that when you start to do imaging, everything is configured, focused, framed, and you start to do the gathering of the frames. Usually, you need some things to overview the process. So we have compiled the important information in this tab, showing the running plan, what is the progress of the plan, the mouse status, the tracking. Here you can see how the focus is changing during the imaging session. What is the focuser position, filter wheel, rotator position, and also the guiding graph from PhD. As well, here we have quick access to three important features of APT. Session craft, which is controlling the refocusing, the meridian flip, the execution of the plans. Focus craft, which is evaluating all evaluating the images and showing how the focus is changing, and histogram, which can be used to tweak the image on the screen. So usually when you do imaging in this tab, you can see the summary and the important information. Of course, you can change to the tab, and if you want to do deeper look on the specific part of your imaging setup. Another important feature, which I think that will be very useful to all imagers who have separate computer for imaging and remotely observe the imaging process, or is doing processing on different computer. This is a data graph, which can be configured to automatically transfer all the images taken, light images taken from the imaging computer to the processing computer. The destination folder could be a remote computer or a different drive, and you can do it in real time when this option is checked. Every time there is a new image, it will automatically be transferred to the remote computer, or when it is disabled, you can do it. You can do the transfer on the morning or the next day just by clicking transfer button. Here you can see the queued images we have taken.
Exposure started.
If you make a
Nice.
new image,
Yeah.
it will be
Exposure finished.
added here. Okay, so this is a function I do use every session, and helps me to have all the images immediately on my processing computer. We also have true mirror function, which when it is enabled, if I go to the images tab and delete an image, it will be also deleted from the destination. So if you see that an image is with bad guiding and you don't want to process it in the next day, and the real-time function is enabled, when we have true mirror and delete it, it will be deleted from the imaging computer and from the processing computer in the same time. Also, you can enable skip thumbnails, so they will not be transferred to the imaging computer. Also, when we talk about remote imaging, we have added possibility to control web cameras in order to monitor the setup. I will not open it because I'm not sure how it interfere with the screen sharing, but it is possible to configure to use web camera, USB camera connected directly to the computer, or IP camera connected to your remote computer. So it is possible to monitor your setup, how it moves, how it makes the flip, and still be in the your warm room. Also, in APT point 10, we have added native support for SV bonding cameras, and currently we have release candidate for 4.20, which comes with support for OGMI, export certificate, or CERTA. You can see the whole list of the cameras we can do. We support natively. So the advantage of the native support is that the transfer is of the images is faster, and also we can do some native support like offset internally from APT. The ASCOM driver, ASCOM standard, doesn't support offset control. Recently, they have added it as in the standard, but the ASCOM driver still doesn't offer this function. So if you want to control both gain and offset in the same time from APT and from imaging one, the native driver is the way. Also, the different cameras has specific features which are not available directly via ASCOM driver. You can control them from the Atom driver properties, and sometimes it is not possible to change them when there is a running connection. So native support is a must. One another thing which we discussed last time, a year ago, we are working on power alignment via plate solving feature, and Roman from Indigo project shared his implementation of this algorithm, the mathematics and calculations, and we have imported it in the APT. Basically, here is the idea. When you start the process, it will go to it will take 3 images on 3 positions. We'll calculate the power alignment error, and here we'll give directions where how to move the altitude and azimuth knobs of the mount in order to better it. And during this phase of the process, it will continue to take images, calculate the error, and give you live information how you are doing, how you change the power alignment. It is possible to do it, to do the power alignment in automatic mode when this option is enabled. APT will make automatically the move of the mount between the points. If you don't have direct connection between the mount and the computer, like a tracker, you can do it manually. So when it is enabled and start the process, the tool will say, go to the first point, click when you're okay, when you finish with the move. After that, we'll wait you to make to move the mount on the second point, and after that, when you are ready, it will start iterating again, taking images, plate solving, and calculating the power alignment error. You can also.
So Ivo, can I just stop you for 1 second? So with the plate solving,
yeah,
with the plate solving, so you have to move it manually if the program doesn't do it for you, or
no, you can do it manually or automatically. If auto is selected, APT will move the mount automatically for you.
Okay.
And take an image, plate solve it, and go to the next point and repeat it 3 times in order to make the initial calculation. After that, it just taking images and solving and calculating, because the third point is moving when you move the altitude and azimuth of the mount.
Got it.
And here you can define how many seconds to wait between the images in order to have time to make the adjustment and give a few seconds of the mount to settle down, not to be shaky, because plate solving sometimes can fail when the stars are not absolutely round. The solvers can handle when it is a little bit egg-shaped, but if there are big stacks, it will fail. So big thanks to Roman about providing this mathematics calculation about this this logic to implement the power alignment. It does great job. The they use it in their project Indigo, and he also makes ion imaging software. It is kind of similar to APT, but it is multi-platform and can connect to Indigo server and control the hardware. Also, one interesting feature we have added in 4.10 is a different profile, settings profile, which is called simulation profile, which can use the Klein Sky Simulator. Han Klein is the author of ASTP Placeover and Hello Northern Sky Planetarium. And this simulator can be used to test and to try how every single feature of APT is working without connecting real hardware. Also, it can be used to connect your real mount. If you point it roughly to north and say we are power aligned, you can do go to alignment via Pointcraft using the simulator camera. Here, in the moment, it is simulated image of these coordinates, which correspond to M44 cluster, and you can move and try to see how to configure meridian flip, how Pointcraft is working. It is very useful, not only for development, but when you want to see how to configure your setup. And for this evening, I will use almost all the time the simulator to show you different things. So, in short, these are the most important things I want to show you for the last year. There are a lot of features you can check in the APT site, but I want to focus about something that many users wanted to cover today, and this is how to use and to configure autofocusing. I will cover not only APT specific things, but the principles of autofocusing. So I think that it will be helpful no matter if you use APT or other software. So basically, how autofocusing is working. We gather different points of on different positions of the focuser, measure the size of the stars, and after that, the mathematics decides where the focus point, the perfect focus point is. The old way was the famous V curve, when using these points are calculated two lines which in their intersection the best focus is. But some times ago, APT friend Stephen King came with the idea that if we use hyperbola, it is better than using two lines, because the two lines is separating the the samples, the point samples in two, one to build one line and the other to build the second line, while the hyperbola use all the points in one function, and this is auto-correcting it using the all points. If the atmosphere is not stable and the points are jumping around, they will not, even on this image, they are not perfectly fit to the hyperbola, but they together are defining the curve, and all the points are giving one exact calculation. If we have two lines, we have errors in the one line and errors in the second line, and it is not giving the same accuracy, the focus point with same accuracy. During the implementation of the autofocus site, Benjamin Schultz made a special library that calculates this function. It is available as open source, and it comes even with a source code with the APT installation. In the APT user's guide, you can find information more about it. It is a great library which can be used for other purposes. Also, Jim Hunt helped with ideas and brainstorming about implementation of the focusing algorithms, because we found that there need the different setups can behave differently, and we provide several focusing methods in order to be sure that we'll find the best focus point. So together with Benjamin, Steven, Jim, myself, and Maria, together we made a very good tool, and I think that it is one of the very good on the market for providing autofocusing. So basically, I want to repeat that U-shape gives better results. So what we need about to do a good focus, we need to find a good focusing step to compensate the backlash, and always when you start focusing, it is good to be near the focus, because while the wild search of the focus point can give not so good results. So usually you have to focus by eye. It is not needed to be absolutely dead on focus, but the best way you can focus by eye is a good starting point. So let just for a second mention something very important, and this is the what is critical focal zone. The critical focal zone is the place where it is near the focal plane, but in this zone you are not absolutely sure that you can make difference between this position and this position. The stars will look the same, and their size is same. It is similar as even when we observe visually, there are some places where you turn the focus knob and you are not sure that you are seeing difference between one position and another. This is the critical focus zone, where the sensor or the eye doesn't make the difference, because the pixels of the sensor or the parts of the eye has their size, and they cannot make difference between one position in the other. So this focus zone, this critical focus zone, is the place we want to put the focus when we are doing automatic focusing. If we can do it in the middle of the critical focus zone, it is perfect, but it is not. It will not give us a worse image if it is a little bit in this side or a little bit in this side. So there is a formula which defines the critical focus zone. It depends mainly on the focal ratio of the telescope and the wavelength of the light. When the telescope is faster, the critical focus zone is shorter. So this is the reason that when we have a very fast scope, it is very hard to find the good focus. And if we use Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope with f10, we have plenty of places where we find good focus. In APT, there is no need to make the calculation yourself. APT will do it for you. In the tools tab, when you enter the focal length of your telescope and the diameter of the telescope and click recalculate, here in the log, you will see that the critical focus zone is for this simulator is 208 microns. So far, so good. We have the critical focus zone, but it is in microns. We have somehow to convert this information in something that our telescope understands, and this is how many steps of the focuser out of the motor of the focuser are needed to make 1 micron of movement. There are different ways to measure this. If you are using Crayford style or rack and pinion focuser, in the user guides we have a short tutorial how to measure it, but in fact it is not so critical. If we can measure it, it will help, but it is possible to guess it. During the years, we have gathered some information and statistically found some values that it is good starting point. So when you start autofocusing guide in settings, you can define how many microns per steps per focuser step you have, and clicking OK, it will calculate what focuser move step we will use for focusing. Usually, a good starting point is 4 microns per step. So if you can't measure your the value really for your focuser, you can start with the default value, and as we see, there is way to better it and find the good place. Why we talk about critical focus zone? Because it is very important to use focusing step that is at least close to the critical focus zone. If we use too small step, which is much smaller than the critical focus zone, we will take several samples in this area, which in fact is giving us same value, same size of the stars, but because we are not imaging from space, you will get different size of the stars just because there is atmosphere turbulence. So here you can get 3 points which is with same size, star size, in fact, it's because they are in the critical focus zone, but different values which is affected by the seeing. So this will mix the full the mathematics, and it will not possible to calculate exactly where the focus point is. So it is important to find focusing step that is close to the critical focus zone. So if you cannot measure your microns per step and start focusing, and if you see jumping points like this, just stop the process or wait it to finish and increase the focusing step till you start to find to see curves like this. So with several iterations, 5 to 6 iterations, you will find what is your good focusing step. But also we still avoid the too big step, because if we make too big steps, the focusing process starts with moving the focuser in our direction with some distance and start to move it inwards. Yes, outwards. So and to measure. So if we make too big step in the first move, we will get the focus star, and it is possible the measuring of the star to find part of the donut and decide that this is a star. So in this case, you will see that moving the focuser, you are getting bigger values than the previous, and this is a sign that your focusing step is too big. So if you can measure the microns per step, you will get very good starting point about the focusing step. But if you cannot do it, you can try it and see what is working with is working good for you. So when we do focusing and find the focusing point, the algorithm will move the focuser to the point where the calculated focusing position is. Here comes the second problem. If we have a backlash in the focuser, it will not be possible to get exactly in the point where we want to go. So again, there are options. We can measure the backlash or try to measure it and compensate it, or we can use another option to avoid that problem. APT has different ways to measure the backlash with different approaches. In the focus side, you can enable calculate backlash function, which can be used once we have found the good focusing step. and it will make two iterations of the focusing, and we'll calculate what is the difference between the two iterations, which is the supposed backlash, and we'll give it so you can use it in the focuser driver or in the um, in the APT settings. Also, we have backlash 8, which sorry, it's here, which generates backlash with multiple iterations, and again using multimeter, you can like this one, you can measure what is the generated backlash. Basically, it moves in out in out in out, and because the backlash is only in position, it will always generate some difference every time you switch the position. So if you make 100 iterations up and in and out, it will multiply and will be easier to measure the this backlash. In the user guide, there is described. It is described with more details how to use it. But basically, you measure the focuser position in the beginning. After that, you make number of iterations, measure the second position, and APT calculates the backlash as it is. Also, if we don't have pay-for focuser or multimeter, millimeter, you can do it manually. The idea is that you can focus in, for example, out direction, record the focuser position, and after that start to move in inward direction and look in focus graph, in focus site or Bakhtinov for the first change of the focusing matrix. And when you see that the star is changing, you again measure the record the position, and the difference between the two positions are the backlash. So if you can measure it, it is good, but if you cannot measure it, it is not critical, because we have a function which is named make final inward move. When this option is enabled, when you make an outward move, it will move the focuser more in out direction, and after that we will make inward move with the defined steps in order to keep the focuser engaged all the time. So if you enter here a value which is much bigger than the backlash, in fact, the focuser will work as there is no backlash. So if you measure it, you can enter the backlash and still enable this option in order to compensate error in the backlash measurement. But if you don't give a idea what is the backlash, you can just enter here a big value and it will work for you. Personally, I use combination of both. I have measured my backlash using micrometer. I'm not sure that it is perfect, but using this option, I'm clearing the errors in the measurements, and I'm getting good results. So to summarize, the good focusing process starts with finding the right focusing step, which is bound to the critical focus zone. It should be a close or bigger in the bigger than the critical focus zone. The second step is to measure the backlash if you can, and my advice is to use the final inward move to be um, uh, to eliminate the backlash or the errors in the backlash measurement. And the fourth point you have to do is to start auto focusing always with good focus by eye. Focus by eye as best you can. There is no need to be pedantic and to use Bakhtinov mask and get that on focus, but this will better your results. APT has different methods for focusing. Flexible is defined by default. Let's start this one demonstration.
Exposure started.
When the focus points are gathered and it sees
Exposure
that
finished.
the U shape is not perfect, it is not
Exposure started.
completed, it can add additional points in order to find the good
Exposure
focus.
finished.
Other option is to make two attempts, two focusings, and get the average of both focus points calculated.
Exposure
And
finished.
the third one is the fourth, sorry, is to use the
Exposure started.
best of the two runs. And the most basic one is
Exposure
to
finished.
one pass focusing, which does one iteration, and
Exposure
what
started.
you get is what you will use.
Exposure
My
finished.
advice is to use flexible or one of the
Exposure
other two
started.
options, because it gives a confirmation that if something didn't
Exposure finished.
pass as expected, there will be a correction.
Exposure started.
These three ways are designed with a lot
Exposure
of trials
finished.
and errors, using real experience, and they
Exposure
have
started.
proven to be useful and to work good. And
Exposure finished.
Hey,
here
hey,
we
Ivo.
yeah.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate something that you said in the
Exposure
previous
started.
slide. As you know, a lot of people don't realize, especially when you're using an autofocuser,
Exposure finished.
that one of the things you really want to do, just like you said in step 4 of
Autofocus
no, the
finished.
next slide, you want to start focusing. Get a coarse focus with your eye first, just like Ivo said, because so many people slap the focuser on there and say, oh, it's going to autofocus for me, but it's only going to move so far out of that focus range. And then if you're not even close to seeing a star, it's going to fail automatically. And so
Yes, it will fail automatically.
yeah,
will fail
because it's not going to be able to
because,
see the star.
Yeah, because the focus craft, no matter what you software you use, it has something that measures the star quality, and
Yeah.
if that is not possible to detect stars, it will not work. In fact, maybe we have another option here, which is called inverse power, which evaluates the whole image without trying to detect the stars. It can handle a bigger value of the focusing, but still there is need to be at least close to the focus position.
Yeah, it's
So
super important. Just get that manual raw, that coarse focus there, and then let the program do what it's got to do.
yeah, definitely. Usually, we know our setup. We know that when I put my camera and my reducer, the focuser is somewhere there. If it is Crayford focuser, of course. For the Schmidt-Cassegrains, it is harder to manage that, but there also you don't turn the knob after that, after you unmount your camera. So it is expected that you are close from to the place where you have imaged the previous time. So it should not take a lot of time. And unless you do it, you cannot expect to get very good results. If you are lucky and the focuser is moving in the right direction, it can come to focus, and the flexible method will start detecting the stars and adding points in order to find exactly where the minimum of the hyperbole is. But if you are moving in the wrong direction, it will detect part of the donut or something like that, and if you get this bright point here and start to make it smaller and smaller, this doesn't give a guarantee that we are moving in the right direction, because it is not focusing on the star. It is focusing on part of the donut.
Nice. Everyone's saying this is great. Everyone's so impressed, Ivo, that just in a year, on how much more additions that you've added to APT just in the past 12 to 14 months. It's been pretty amazing on the amount of functionality that you've been able to throw in this in such a short time.
Thank you. Thank you. We are giving our best with Maria. It is our project. We are working on this together, and this year I'm sure that you will see very interesting additions that will be useful for a lot of people.
Yeah,
if I can if I can interject something right here, because Dan, this brings up a point that you talked about, is getting, at least initially, getting within a ballpark. When you do get this good focus curve right here, write it down, because that'll be your next starting point when you set up.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Pete. Once you get that focus, just get the lowest number, your regular, what FWHM, HFD, whatever you're doing, get that focus number, because then, assuming you're using the same filter and the same camera,
exactly,
you could start there. Just write that down, put it in your little notes in your phone or whatever you do, just so you know. Or if you're using you're making a sequence or something like that, just say, hey, go to step 3900, because that's where I was focused at before.
Yeah, exactly. Starting from the last point you have, last known good point is a good starting point for new session.
Yep, great point.
So these are the four points to mention. In fact, finding the focusing step and measuring the backlash and the final inward move, there are one time procedure. After that, when you have found the good values, uh, every time you should do the next time is to start from the previous good time, and APT will do the rest for you.
Nice.
Something that also was requested to cover today was how to generate mosaics and how to use them in APT. APT has a possibility to talk with different planetarium applications, and also we have object browser with a lot of objects described in APT. In fact, in many cases, if your object is smaller than your field of view, you can use object browser only. There is no need to use planetarium in order to start and run your imaging session. Here we have short list of 500 objects and extended list with 21,000 objects. Also, we have a list of different.
Ivo, before
Yeah.
you go, can you go back 1 second? Because there's some interesting information that you're passing over that you should highlight.
Yeah.
If you can go back. Now, people talk about how do I know what target is good for my camera setup? Take a look at the columns that you've got. You've got it set up as arcs. Is that arcs? Is that arc minutes, right? And then also in pixels.
Yeah.
See, that's something
Yeah.
you should really highlight there. Yep.
Yeah, this is related with the parameters we have entered here in the tools tab. Here we have to enter the focal length to select the camera, if it's CCD or CMOS, to populate these the pixel size and the sensor size, unless usually APT reads it from the camera, but if the driver doesn't support something, you can enter it manually. So when you know the sensor and the telescope parameters, it is possible to calculate how many pixels it will take on the sensor, and even we can do select because we have, yeah, here it is quite big for the sensor, but if we select a smaller target, it will show you how it looks. It will look on your camera and with your telescope. Here is the size, the real size of the compared to the full field of view of M1, the crab nebula. This will be on 700 millimeters focal length. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
also it is visual and number representation how the object will look like on your camera, on your frame.
Nice.
Also, we can define different filters here to say show me only the object which are with altitude more than 40 degrees in the current moment. So it will calculate and hide the objects which are below the horizon or below this filter limit. You can define different things
Nice.
here.
Yep.
So usually for my personal imaging processes, that I prepare my targets ahead write it in the object, custom object, or in to-do tab. And when I'm starting the imaging, I just select in PointCraft the object I want to image, like here.
Yep.
Go to ++ and starting to image. There is no need to make connection with planetarium application, especially if your imaging computer is weak and cannot handle a lot of programs in one time. This is a good option to have in mind, that you can save some of your computing power. So,
Hey, Ivo, just I have one
yeah.
question. 2 slides ago, you brought up a description of the target. And if you noticed, if you can go back like 2 slides, it was talking about the target. It was talking about like it's strong in O3. It was, and this is what's really interesting, is that a lot of people have questions about, well, how do I know what the target is very good for my narrowband? Is it HA, O3, or S2? I noticed that you had it listed there that it's strong in O3. Just, yeah, if you go back on the target, oh man, where was it? Yeah, it was just it was a slide. It was just one back, and in the main. No. Just with this slide right here. If you just go back one more slide, it just caught the corner of my eye that it said strong in O3.
There it is. That was
Okay,
it.
there, right here. Yeah, there it goes.
Nope.
Go back.
Back
Go
one
forward
more.
once.
Custom.
Oh, custom.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Yeah,
There it
strong. See, no, strong in O3. So that gives people a good indication of what filter to use.
No. This is just note and name when I have entered the object in the browser. Here you can import coordinates from Planetarium, or import it from different ways to get the data. But the strong O3 is just a name, when I have added the custom and the to-do list are your personal objects, not the predefined.
Oh.
Here you cannot add more object. They are fixed. The only thing to change the things is to get the extended list, or to work with the shorter list. But for custom and to do, you can add your own custom objects that are not in the object browser till the moment. The idea of the to do is that to have a even shorter list that are the targets you are imaging in the moment, for example. But it is not mandatory to make such separation. You can import it here and separate it by your own logic.
Okay.
But currently we don't have information about the characteristics of the object, and to suggest it is better to image it with O3 or with hydrogen filter. So if you want to make a multi-panel project for object which is bigger than our field of view, there is need to define different panels, and for such job, APT uses the help of the Planetarium programs. Currently, we support 3 options to build mosaics. It is Cartesian CL, HN Sky, Hollow Northern Sky Planetarium, and the Telescopius site. So I will show how to make it in with how to make mosaics with these three options. First of all, it should be. Let's start with Cartesian. In the settings, I say that my planetarium program is Cartesian. Just selecting the option is enough. And when we have it, we go here and from view, select mosaic. We define how many panels we want to use. We can rotate it and click on when we are ready with framing the object. We click send via server. After that, we go back to APT in object browser. In to do, we say import list and select mosaic frames from Cartesian. And he say it, not he, that will import 9 frames, and these are the frames we have generated in Cartesian with the coordinates of the center of every frame and the rotation angle we have defined there. So this is one way to generate mosaics.
That is pretty cool. That's a nice, easy way to do it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sure is.
And in fact, it is implemented maybe in 2017 year. So it is quite a matured feature
Sure.
of APT. The other option is, sorry, to use NHSky Planetarium, which is created by the author of ASTP, plates over. Here, we have to right-click and select measuring frame. Using Control and the scroller of the mouse, we can rotate the frame. Let's make something like that. And clicking Home key of the keyboard, it defines one frame. Again, Home key. Home key. And here, Home key. And again, we say export to via server, all frames, and go back to APT to use the frames. Here we say mosaic frames from NHSky, and we get the 4 frames again with the angle we have defined. Yeah.
Cool.
And one more option available is here. In Telescopius, you can again find the object you want. Here you can define how many, what is the focal length of your telescope, what is the rotation of your camera, how many frames you want to generate, the percentage of overlapping, and here is the coordinates of the frame. After that, you can download the file with these frames, and in APT
Deep Sky Clock event closing.
uh, to select mosaic frames from telescopios, and it will import these frames, so you can use it to make a mosaic with uh, for a big object which cannot fit in your field of view.
Pretty cool.
I think that this is what I have prepared as a request from users to cover. So I'm open for questions and for suggestions.
No, a lot of people are saying that, you know, I mean, it's been said a bunch of times throughout through the presentation that that APT has changed so much in the past year. It's like Mike Y said, APT is a whole different beast than when I last tried it. He was actually wondering if it was open source. So do you allow other third-party plugins or?
No, in this stage it is closed project, which is
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, I mean,
Some people,
it's working great. I mean, it looks awesome. The functionality is just, it's totally blown me away, Ivo. It really has.
thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
you've really,
We are happy that we can contribute something to community and to be useful.
yeah, no, and you're definitely doing that because I know a lot more people are using APT. You know, I mean, if this was 3 years ago, or maybe longer, you know, everybody was talking about, you know, either Maxim or Sequence Generator Pro, whatever. If you were in the North, a lot of people used APT, but it's becoming more and more prominent in the United States. So it's really good to see.
When you say in United States, I want to invite everyone to come to NIF, to our stand. We will be there, and we'll prepare some small presents for everyone who come to say hello.
Hey,
So,
Ivo, just hit that stop sharing button so we can see you.
oops.
And there we go.
There we go.
Let me just change this.
So come to NIF to visit us, to hear
Yes.
hello, to say hello, and we will have some small present for everyone.
And I've already spoken Ivo. Ivo is gonna be at the group picture whenever we have it at Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a really crazy picture if we could get everybody doing it, because you know, yourself, the Masters of Pix Insight will be there, Pete, the guys from Prima Luce, Scott Roberts, for anybody who's been on the show. That's going to be there. Simon Lewis, TJ Conley, all these guys that are going to be there. You know, hey, Dylan O'Donnell, if you're listening, Dylan, you know, you're not going to be in the picture because you haven't been on the show yet. So, you know, come on, you know, it's time to fess up. Let's go. I want to see the 500 rule live. But no, I'm just kidding. Me and Dylan play around on Twitter every now and then. So love that guy. He's great. So, but everybody's going to be there. A lot of people. NEAF is going to be crazy this year. I thought it was going to be like a whimper kind of thing. Me and Pete talking about it for years and wondering if NEAF was going to survive the COVID transition that has been going on in the US. And it looks like if this turns out to be as big as I think it's going to be, I think they're not going to be having a problem recovering. What do you think, Pete?
Oh, I tell you, I mean, I honestly thought that after 3 years that it would just be a whimper. But as I said, you know, there's a big population in the Northeast, and this really is the show that brings the whole Eastern Seaboard. just like AIC brings the whole West Coast to San Jose. But I'm going to be really interested to see how many people show up here. This will really tell if this thing is going to survive, because this
Yep.
is the watershed moment to really see if this thing's going to survive. If there's not a lot of people, it's going to be kind of borderline, Dan. But if there is a lot of folks showing up, I think then it's going to definitely, it'll stay through. So that's good. But as I said, a lot of the vendors have already paid, right?
Well, they've been using their money from prior shows because they've been credited to
Yeah.
that. So
that's a good thing is that the vendors didn't have to, pay any more additional funds. So that was a good thing that they did there. So that's going to be good. But Ivo, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I'm looking forward to seeing you
so
too.
that'll be, yeah.
It will be the first time we will be in United States, so it is quite an adventure for us.
Oh, really? Oh, so are you gonna get a chance to go to Manhattan, the city, or?
Yeah, we will have a small journey after that in New York and Boston and Philadelphia, maybe Washington.
Nice.
Yeah,
Stay away from the south
but
end of Philly.
it
Stay
will
away
be
from that.
busy. The main goal is to meet you.
Oh,
with
stop.
a lot of
The
Astro
main,
fellows
main-
to his hello, to shake hands and
yeah.
to meet in person.
It's gonna be quite an event because you know what? A lot of the people like yourself from around the world that has been on the show from Bulgaria to New Zealand to Belgium to the UK. Nobody in China yet. No, we got friends in the UAE that watch. I don't know if Tarek's going to make it. I don't think he's going to be there. But there are so many people going to NEAF that I've been getting over the past 4 years since doing the show. I've been lucky enough to make a lot of acquaintances, a lot of friendships, and a lot of great times over the past 4 years. And it's going to be awesome to be in the same room with that. Even some of the co-hosts, me and Pete have never met each other live. The only person that I've met live is Jesse, who lives in Delaware, and Eric, only because I went to Chicago once for a meeting, and that was it. But it's gonna be pretty awesome. Tarek, just fly, take United, Emirates, whatever, Emirates Air, and just come on down to New York. We got 3 international airports in New York. They'll take you. But it's gonna be great to meet you, Ivo. It's gonna be a great time, and it's gonna be hilarious. Are you staying? I want to ask that, but a lot of us are staying at the Crown, whatever, and it's gonna be that hotel is gonna be a mess. Someone's gonna go Axl Rhodes in that, and someone's gonna wreck the hotel. I'm telling you, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
It's interesting as I wasn't part of the group, but in 2016 at NEAF, the OPT group, after NEAF, they went down to Times Square with a telescope, an FSQ 106. They're using narrowband filters, and they were setting up the scope just to be able to show you what you could capture in the middle of Times Square with narrowband filters. There was such a crowd of people, the cops came and literally kicked OPT out. So they ended up going to one of their clients as a doctor. I guess he had a penthouse somewhere down there, and they were able to go ahead and start imaging from his penthouse balcony. But it was funny.
Hey, it's gonna be a lot. I am so excited. It's my first one as a vendor, not a vendor, but I mean, my own table there. So I think it's pretty cool. They just asked me what I wanted on the sign. I thought it's kind of like I'm a musician, so it's kind of like when you have your first show as a band member. I remember this when I was 16 years old, and you go to the place just to see your name on the outside of the building of your band, and you're like, Oh man, I wish I had a freaking camera because none of these were around. And you know, it's pretty cool when the bar is a dump, but your name's up there. So it was pretty cool, you know. Yeah, so all right. So we do have to do a giveaway, I think. Why don't we do the giveaway real quick? And for those of you out in the chat, there's a lot of people in the chat. Tom, I will never probably open for Bon Jovi, although I did open up for Andrew Dice Clay, if that means anything. And who else did I open for? I opened up for a band called Rot Gut in the 90s. And for those of you New York people know Opie and Anthony, it was Anthony's band. And that was a lot of fun. But I did open for Andrew Dice Clay back in Queens when he was a nobody. But anyway, that's no big deal. Anyway, so we do have a giveaway to do, and we're a little off the rails here. So let's do the giveaway real quick. And everybody vote for the picture of the month. Vote for the picture of the month. You got to vote for that. We only got a couple of votes, and we've been hitting 100 votes. The picture's been up since yesterday. I think we only have about 30 votes, but definitely go check that out. And let me see if I can grab this wheel. Where's the wheel? There it is. All right, so here we go. Here's the wheel. We got the famous Woodland Hills wheel. We have 131 people on the wheel. So we had 2 more new people that signed up. So here we go. So this is for a $50 gift certificate to Woodland Hills. There we go. Rock and roll. That spazzed out a little bit. All right. And the winner is Ernie Jacobs. He was in the chat. Congratulations, Ernie. I'll send you your voucher for that, and we'll get that out for you, Ernie. He's a Buffalo, New York native, so it's gonna be cool to give it to him. So congratulations to Ernie. What else do we got? Anything in the chat? Let's see. Anybody got any questions for Ivo while you're out there still? Let's see. Let me get the chat rolling up here. Why is my screen? There we go. Ernie, woohoo. So, Ivo, what's up next for APT? What's the next new implementation or anything that you would like to see as a creator of APT to put in there, if you could say at all?
We hoped that next week to have the new version completed, but got a great news that PlaneWave will allow us to implement support for plates over free solver in APT. So we will hold a new version to add this feature for the next version. So it will give another way to do plate solving. As I know, the plate solve free is very fast and reliable. So it worth to hold the new version for a week or two just to finish that. We have prepared some. We are working, not prepare. We are working on a feature that will help to organize your imaging for longer projects, like not several nights, but projects you can run for several years. Personally, I started two such projects, one to image M1 in different years in order to see how the things are changing there. And the other is NGC 1555, which is Reflection
Deep Sky
Nebula.
Clock event.
So I don't want to give more details because
No
I just
problem.
want to have it finished before announcing it.
No,
Um,
yeah, you know, you got to keep something for the
Yeah.
imagination for everybody.
Yeah.
So, as you see,
the
Eric
other-
joined.
Hello, Eric.
Is he there?
The other thing that we will implement, not for the next version, but the other one that comes, is DSLR support via an Indigo server. Indigo can work on Raspberry Pi. So if you have a Sony camera, Fujitsu camera, or something more exotic, which we don't have native support, it will be possible to use Indigo server as a controller of the camera. So this is something requested and long awaited, and we'll implement. The other thing is that Indigo has a very good guider that can do multiple star guiding. So when we have support for both and we do support CCD and CMOS camera control, but when we add support for the guider, it will be possible to use Indigo as ICR alternative and control it via APT and run the imaging session remotely.
Nice. Actually,
Yeah.
Eric, you got audio? Do we have audio for Eric?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Hey.
And Ivo, I'm sorry, I got to do something for Eric here, and I'm gonna put this full screen, and we're gonna do this real quick, and then we'll play this.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. The packing of the tree.
And there it goes. And the tree is gone.
Oh, that's nice. I even like that. You know, that was collapsible. That's awesome.
So,
yes.
Ivo, I'm sorry. Eric has had the
Oh.
tree up for since November. He just took it down, and I gotta say, welcome home to your son, Eric. Glad he made it safe, and he apparently got the presents that were under that tree because they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
But
they're gone.
so. Hey, everything good with the fam?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So, hey, Ivo, it's great to see you again. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Sorry I'm late, but it's my wife's birthday. And it's
Pleasure for me.
Yeah, and coincidentally, it's Dan's wife's birthday too. So I was like, wow, another thing that we have in common. It's awesome.
We've known each other for 4 years. We've never put this together that our wives have the same birthday.
Yeah.
However, I was on time for the show, and Eric was not.
Hey. Wife wanted to go out. We go out.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you gotta have priorities.
Gotta go. Gotta get. Nah, it's pretty cool. So, but we already did the wheel already, Eric. You missed the wheel. Okay. You missed everything. It's all over.
I guess so.
It's 5 a.m. where Ivo is, or something like that, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like.
Oh yeah, I know. I know it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, Ivo, I really appreciate.
But everything is recorded, Eric, so you can watch it later.
Absolutely, and I'm going to be putting a lot of descriptions in there, links that Ivo had set up for us in the description of the show. I'm going to probably put it on. It's going to take a little while to download, but once I get it up, probably tomorrow evening, it'll have all the links on there. So if you want to get APT and give it a try, if you want to buy it, if you want to do anything, and let me tell you, and Eric, you're gonna have to go back and look at this, because what Ivo's been doing for the past 15 months since 2.0 came out, the changes in APT have been just stunning, nothing less than remarkable. It's really amazing, and how something can change so much in this short span. That just means that Ivo got no sleep all year, and that's all that means. Ivo and his team at APT, outstanding job,
Maria,
man.
Maria
Really.
helps me a lot with this. In fact, she's making the most of the progress because I'm taking care for the support. So
Yeah, well,
That's
one hand
Kevin-
watches the other. You can't have a program without
Yeah.
support. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But I don't know, Eric, if you have any. We're just about done here. I don't know if you had any questions regarding AP&T. I want to give you an opportunity to ask anything you want to ask. But
no, I mean, right now I'm going to look at the video. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I hadn't had a chance to even hop in,
yeah,
on YouTube,
no,
to even check in and see how things are going. But yeah, I'm looking. But congratulations, Ivo, on the evolution of APT. It sounds like this is a serious game changer for you guys. Yeah.
hope that it is game changer for the community and
Yeah.
that somebody will find it helpful. This
That's
is
awesome.
the main goal to make the things easier and useful.
That's it. And I know I've used APT and up to 2.0. I haven't had a chance to to check out everything yet. And it was great. So I'm looking forward to checking this out and checking out these new updates and this new iteration. So it should be really, really fun to get my hands on it and play around with it for a little bit. So it's awesome. But yeah, besides that, no, I'm just glad that you guys have you guys have had a chance to have a nice chat and been able to show APT to our members and to the community. And yeah, no, Tom, that's my treadmill. It's not an inversion table. It's my treadmill. So yeah, and it's been really, really cool. And for those who didn't know, yeah, my son and my dad have actually my son came home. I haven't seen him in 2 years. Haven't seen my father face to face in 2 years. So they're both here, and it's been a great day, a great week, and it's just been a great time. So and now they head home tomorrow. So a little bittersweet, but hey, it's going to be but it just gives us something to look forward to the next time they come through. So
yeah.
So that's really for me all I got. Let's see. I want to check a couple of things here to see. I hope Tarek was asking. I hope APT is compatible with the new operating system. He's using Windows 11, which is said to be upgrading to a newer version, so he doesn't want any issues. Is that going to be a concern there, Ivo? The compatibility with Windows 11.
All the feedback is that it works perfectly on Windows 11. One of our developed machines is on 11 Windows 11, so no any problems found or detected so far.
Nice.
It is as stable as Windows 10 and Windows 7,
Nice.
which I don't recommend. anymore. Windows 7 is quite old, and if you have a chance, go to Windows 10.
Or,
At
or
least.
just go all the way back to Windows XP, and we'll just go with that. So,
Yeah, if you want to go back to
If,
the,
if you go to XP, go to the legacy section of the site. There is a version that still works, but it
Nice.
is old.
awesome.
I do have an XP box. I do have one still. So,
That's
but-
awesome.
Yes, I also have, but it is just kind
it's
of
kinda
museum
like a-
exponent.
like a paperweight. That's what it is now. So,
Exactly.
all right,
That's super
Pete, you got any final thoughts for Evo?
No, Ivo, I just thank you very much for accepting the invite. As I said, it was so good and known full well with the updates. And I can't wait to see what the new recent update is going to be. I'm excited for this. And definitely we'll look forward to seeing you at NEAF. It'll be a lot of fun to go ahead and hang out and take a
Yes.
couple of surveys.
Oh, you're heading. You're going to be at NEAF?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
yeah.
APT's got their own booth too. So,
It's going to be great. It's gonna
and
be
Evo's
great.
going to be in the group pick.
Nice. This is going to be awesome.
It's going to be a
Awesome.
great pick. I just got to figure out where we're going to do it, because it's got to be up in that top tier to go. I think there's going to be a lot of people. So I think there's, we're going to have about 50 people in this picture, I think. And
Jeez.
yeah, it's going to be crazy because there's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's gonna-
people that want to be in it. So
Yeah, it's going to be that's going to be nuts.
yeah, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be fun though. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it looks like we may have a nice giveaway from Optolong for NEAF.
Oh, wonderful.
Can't say what it is yet, but
Hey, Jay, let's keep it under wraps.
I need to get clarification from my buddy. I got to throw a shout out to Jessica Hahn over at Optolong, and she is hooking us up yet again. So
That's great. We really appreciate that support from Optolong.
Yep.
That's awesome.
all right, cool. Ivo, any final thoughts for tonight? I know it's late, and I know you'd love to hit the pillow. So
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and to present APT. Really appreciate it.
no problem.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's great to have you. I'm looking again to have you when APT 7 comes out. The rate you're going, you went from 2 to 4 in 1 year, so you'll be at least 6 next year. So, it's going to be amazing. So, I mean,
No, the numbers are running slower.
yeah. Well, now you're going to go to 4.38 and then 5, and
Yeah. Hey, let him catch his breath and relax a little bit.
No,
Hey,
no,
that's
you're not allowed.
From 2 to 4.16. That's a big jump over for 15 months.
I think it's 4.2 now. I think.
The 4.2 now, okay, but that is a
Yeah.
big jump, So definitely, but please keep us in mind when you have version 5 and 6 coming out. Please keep us in mind. We'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, we'll keep a connection and talk, and definitely we'll make it when we have to show something.
Yeah.
It will be great
And
if we can have another show together.
Absolutely, and you know what? No matter what, I got your first drink at NEAF. So after the show, when we hit the bar, get you some Irish whiskey in you. So awesome. All right, everybody. Well, you don't know this, Eric, because you weren't on when we were doing the next guest, but our next guest is going to be AstroSpace on a Saturday afternoon. I hope you can make it. It's going to be Saturday the 25th.
Okay.
of this month. It's going to be 7 o'clock her time, and it's weird in the UK. They do daylight savings times later in the month, so I got to figure out what time it is our time.
Okay.
We're doing daylight savings time, I think March 15th or 18th, and they do it a week later for some reason. They do what they call summertime as opposed to daylight savings time. So, but Astro Stacey's going to be on, followed by Warren Keller, followed by Pavel Kagas from. Am I pronouncing that right, Pete? Kagas,
Coggis, yes.
Kagas,
CAGA.
yes.
Yep.
From Moravian Instruments. So it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully, I emailing Richard Wright again to get him back to get his recap from Winter Star Party.
Yep.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of good guests coming on. On a side note, if you want the newsletter, I put the link back up on the page. It's on the Meet the Team. Get the newsletter. It's coming out again this week. We're on our 15th issue of the newsletter. So it has a lot of new stuff and all that kind of stuff in there. So it's pretty cool. So if you want it, go to Meet the Team, go down to the bottom and sign up for the newsletter. Don't forget to vote for Picture of the Week. And all you guys, Eric wasn't here, so nobody kept on saying smash the like button. So I don't know if anybody smashed the like button because I've been busy running the show. So I hope we got plenty of likes in there. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. Everybody's awesome. We're at 1,650 subscribers for a live show. That's pretty darn good. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Ivo, again, thank you for coming on, hanging out with us again for number 2. Looking forward to number 3 and number 4 and number 5. So you are always more than welcome. Just you have my email. Just hit me up and say, hey, how about next March we get together and talk about this? And you're in. You got a permanent invitation to come and hang out with us. And if you really, really want to do an afternoon, it's okay. You don't have to stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning.
No problem.
I'll be more than happy to accommodate
we do our hobby in the dark, so it is not a problem.
I know, but if it's cloudy, maybe you'd like to sleep on occasion. So I mean, but if that's
there are
something
no memories from sleep, so
that's true. All right, everybody. Well, again, have a good night, everybody, and get ready for Friday. Hopefully, if I have the time, I will be doing a presentation. Hopefully, if everything works out, if I could get the time to finish it up, that would be pretty cool. So, everybody, have a good night. Take care and enjoy the night. Hopefully, people saw the conjunction. I did not. Did you see it?
Yeah, it
Eric?
was pretty amazing. Yeah, as we were coming, as we arrived at the restaurant for dinner, we were able to see it even from the we were able to see it from the west, because it was facing west, showing my friends, showing the kids, my dad, everybody, and Robin. So it was really, really cool. So it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff.
Pete ran outside and took a look, and me and Pavel, me and Ivo were totally clouded out.
Oh, really? Oh, that sucks. But it's pretty cool.
I'm used to it. I get clouded out for everything. It's just horrible. I get something like 60 clear nights a year. I think that's about it. But all right, everybody. Well, again, it's 10:50. Thank you so much again. Come catch us Friday night for the topic night. Actually, this Friday we got Dylan. Dylan is going to be doing his. So Dylan, I hope you're ready for your member night. It's member night, presentation night. Hope you're ready, man. You only got 2 days. So everybody, take care. Have a good night. And remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday night. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody. See you Friday.
Thank you very much.
All right.